Hello. Today we're going to be looking at the basics of functions, and the first thing we want to talk about is the way that we can describe functions. First of all, what is a function? The easiest way to look at it is probably here, where we have y is equal to 2 multiplied by x plus 5. What this means in practice is if we choose a number for x, we'd sub that number in, say x was 1, we'd end up with 2 multiplied by 1 plus 5 would give me the number for y. So I'd have 2 plus 5 would be 7. So if I input the value x is 1 into this function, I get out the value y is 7. So a function gives us a connection, a relationship between x values and y values. So it's really useful because it gives us a relationship between two letters, which is very, very important for lots of areas of more advanced maths. Now, for historical reasons, there are three ways that we write functions. This one is called function notation. This is what we'll use when we draw pictures, when we draw graphs of functions. And this is another style that you have to be familiar with. We don't use it as often, but these three things mean exactly the same thing. If we see f of x, f brackets x, y, or f dot dot x and then an arrow, it means exactly the same thing in each case. This means that we have functions connecting y values to x values. So let's put this into practice. This is the type of notation you'll see a lot in functions, so let's start off with this. F, a function of x values, is equal to this. So this is a rule that gives us y values for a particular x value. So let's put in a particular x value. We want to know what the function is equal to, what f of x is equal to, when x is 1. So you see here, we have a 1 where there was an x. So we're asked about when x is equal to 1, what is the value of y? What is the value of f of x going to be? So what is f of 1 equal to? So anywhere there was an x in my original function, I'm going to put in the number 1. So I had 2 multiplied by x, so I'm going to put in 2 multiplied by 1 plus 5. 2 multiplied by 1 is just 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. So what did I do? The number that is in the bracket here is my value for x. So here, the value for x is 2. So I'm going to put a 2 anywhere there was an x in my original equation. So I end up with 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. I can get any kind of value of x in here, so I have, in this case, x is equal to minus 3. So I'm going to put in a minus 3 anywhere there was an x in my original equation, or original function, I should say. So 2 by minus 3, plus by minus is going to give me minus. 2 by 3 is going to give me 6 plus 5. If I start at minus 5, if I start at minus 6 and I add 5, I end at minus 1. I can also get situations where I have to sub in two different values of x and then take stuff away or add it together. So this is just doing two of these types of things at once. So here I have f of 3. So I'm going to put in a 3 anywhere there was an x. So I have 2 and 3 plus 5. That's this bit here. Minus, I'm going to put a bracket because all of this stuff is going to be minus. 2 by minus 2 plus 5. And I want to know what all of this is equal to. So 2 by 3 is 6 plus 5 minus plus 2 by minus 2 is minus 4 plus 5. And I'm going to do my multiply. I remember my BIMDIS rules, so I'm going to do my multiply first. Minus by minus, or sorry, I can add up actually what's in my bracket here. So I have minus Minus 4 plus 5 is 1. 6 plus 5 minus 1. And I can add this stuff up. I get 6 plus 5 is 11 minus 1. 11 minus 1 is 10. So I sub in my value for x, and then it's just simplifying my numbers down. And I can put this stuff into the calculator. Once I have gotten to this line here, I can start putting things into the calculator because it's all just numbers. So it's fine if you want to put it into the calculator after this point, but you must write this line down first. It is extremely important. We will not get marks if we just write down the answer. We have to write down that we've subbed in our value for x. So we've put in minus 2 anywhere there was an x. Now let's deal with one that has a square in it. Nothing really changes here. It's just to give you another example. So in this case, instead of having an f, I have a g. So g of x is still a function of x is equal to this stuff here. So let's sub in my values for x. I have x is equal to 1 here. So let's put in x is equal to 1. I have 3 multiplied by 1 squared. Again, I can put this into the calculator. 1 squared is 1 minus 4. 3 minus 4 is equal to minus 1. So g of minus 1, sorry, g of 1, I should say, is minus 1. If I put in 2 for x, square that, and I get, sorry, it should be 3. I get 2 squared is 4. Again, we can put all of this into our calculator. But just to remind you of how it is these questions would work out, we can do out our sums. So I'm going to put 10 in anywhere there was an x in my original equation. And I get 296. So we can see in every example, we're just putting in anywhere there was an x, I'm going to put in the number that they have given me for x. Now let's put this one into practice here. So I have g of minus 1. Let's sub that in. So I have 3 on minus 1 to be squared minus 4 plus, I'm going to add all this stuff, 3 on 3 squared minus 4. I square minus 1 and I get 1 minus 4 plus 3 squared is 9 minus 4. 3 by 1 is 3 minus 4. 3 by 9 is 27 minus 4. Again, once you've written down this line, you can put it in the calculator. I'm showing you this to remind you of how it is we do these types of questions. So now we just add these things up one at a time, and it's good practice to be able to do these types of questions. We get 22. So we can see each time we're just putting in the value for x that they're giving us, and we work out the numbers, and we can use our calculator to help us if we get stuck on the numbers. And that's what we need for introduction to functions.